see me, but let's go ahead and start. Let's see here. That's never good. So I'm lighting a little bit of copal. Hopefully you can see me. And this is a very powerful Mayan incense. And it goes really hand in hand with the Jaguar Spirit Guide, which is what I'm going to share with you today. So Akasha here, Nanakasha, namaste. So happy that you're here. And what we have today is an opportunity to receive. I'm going to share a little bit about my experience, but I'm going to see what comes through because I'm a conduit. I'm a channel. I've spent 30-some years awakening, studying with shaman and mystery schools, becoming a homeopathic doctor and hypnotherapist and energy healer, and going to sacred sites and doing incredible activations and traveling between the worlds and dying and coming back and being upgraded and literally stripped of my skin, and had a daughter die, lost everything several times, but in an epic divorce. So like all of you, I've been here living life, and this is life on planet Earth. It's not that it sucks, it's not that it's bad, and it's not that it has to be hard. It's that we've been living in the dark ages, and we're aware of that now. However, the real issue isn't, are we making a lot of money? Do we have status? Do we have people who love us? Do we think our bodies are perfect? All the things that we've been conditioned to think are important, to seek, to feel desperate for, to not feel good enough if you don't have or if you lose it. The goal-setting idea of going for a goal, yes, you can set goals, but it's different than what we think. And then we set ourselves up for struggle and disappointment and cravings and unfulfilled needs at lower levels. And it all feeds back into the constant hypnosis that's all around us, blurring our vision in terms of who we are, what we are meant to see, how we're meant to see, what perspective we're meant to have. Part of your purpose and part of your unique makeup is that you are meant to see and perceive and experience everything completely differently than you have before. So I'm letting this copal just come up over the screen in case you hadn't noticed. So as I clear myself, I clear you. There's no time and space. I've created an infinity healing chamber, and this is a sacred geometrical space of light. We are wrapped in the all-seeing eye. We are surrounded with the Akashic Ascension sphere, which is a sphere of white light made from the flower of life. Now, the flower of life is a sacred geometrical shape that every single sacred geometrical shape comes from. This is part of the mystery school teaching. This is part of sacred geometry. There's a reason for it. It is divine architecture. It is divine building and manifesting. We can't have form, what we call form here. Hello, pink dolphin. We can't have that if we didn't have polarity. Polarity leads to duality. Yet we sit and judge everything, including ourselves, as right or wrong or good or bad, rather than, I'm sharing my juice with you. Well, I do clear and cleanse everything. So your whole body, your mind, your emotions, just enter the sacred space and take a nice deep breath in. Feel like everything is draining out that no longer serves you. When you're being filled with a divine and delicious royal blue, cobalt blue, glowing blue, sapphire blue energy that's filling all levels of your being. And so it is. And so in this sacred space, I do everything in sacred space. My house is a sacred space that gets reactivated, rebuilt, reformed, updated, upgraded many times a day. Me, my body, every class I do, before and after, everything. So make sure you get the energy cleanses. They're in the shop, and it's easy to use, incredible guidance, and a little toolbox full of clearing, cleansing, protection, energy medicine mixed with all kinds of other levels of alchemy and manifestation. So because I've spent a really big, more than half actually, I think, yeah, more than half of my life seeking, learning, teaching, what is this? What's the spiritual nature of that? What's underneath that? How do I change it? And I went from how do I control it to how do I understand it? And then what's underneath it so I can find the current and the energy, which will then lead me to the agreement, the thought, the belief, whatever is the activating factor within you that is creating certain circumstances, beliefs, and experiences in your life. So if your life is, if you're on a path and you're just waking up, or you've been trying to wake up, or you've been doing your spiritual work forever, if you feel like you're at the highest, best moment of your life, high five. And if you feel like you're at the lowest, worst point of your life, high five. And if you're anywhere in between there, high five. Because guess what? You're here. And if you're here, you're the pinnacle life of your soul. You are the leader who is coming last, mopping up your soul's experiences up to this point. So this is a completely new download coming in, so I welcome you to relax. You don't need to take notes. We're recording. Hopefully everything's working. Let me check with Donna. Thank you. And so let's relax in, because the Jaguar is here, and I've had this third eye opening to a whole new level, and I was already extremely visionary. It's the basis of my work mixed with all the other multidimensional tools and ways of you moving and sensing energy that I have. This is my Jaguar, and I hope that this doesn't hurt your ears, but I hope you can hear it. So we're just going to honor and all of the divine beings here in this sacred space. We enter this sacred space in reverence, presence, and love. I'm ready and willing. I'm open and receptive to be aligned to my highest good and that which is optimal for me at this time. And then give yourself permission to receive whatever's optimal for you. As you enter this call, you are in sacred space, and the sacred space is conscious energies that are working with you already to realign you with your soul signature frequency. And that's what happens when you're around me. So that's why when the retreats or the classes or private sessions are so powerful, people start seeing visions. There was a lady on the retreat started seeing visions, never seen visions before. People start seeing and sensing things, communicating. One lady started communicating with an iguana, and it kept going on for days, and it was so palpable and so real, she was just shocked. Versus, I'm trying to communicate with animals, you keep activating your own inner self. We call on Black Star Jaguar. We call on the Jaguar Spirit, the Jaguar Collective, the Jaguar of the ancient Maya, the loving mother holding the constellations on her back. The spots on the Jaguar are considered by the Maya to be the Milky Way, to be the galaxy, to be the cosmos. So she is fully aware that she is part of that world, that she is cosmic, that she is the universe. She wears it. She wraps herself within it, and she invites you now to do the same. When you awaken your inner vision, you are not just talking about receiving a picture. You're not just talking about getting answers or getting guidance or increasing your intuition, or you're being able to see things with your mind's eye, or to see and communicate into multiple dimensions or with the other dimensions and interdimensionally in this space. This planet has so many dimensional layers, different beings living in each one, different powers, different benefits. As Jaguar, I am the one that teaches man how to be on earth. how to walk, how to live, how to find water, how to find protection for the family, and how to be a loving and caring mother, protector, parent, and guide. One thing has been forgotten, and that is that you are the first one that must be loved, mothered, protected, guided. The disconnect that I see for you today is that you have unplugged your inner eye, and you've unplugged it in a way that you have been convinced is good. It is not. You cannot watch the movie if you unplug the beam, the projector. You cannot find your way forward, listen and hear the rhythm of your soul, see and perceive the synchronicities around you. You cannot if you are unplugged from your own vision. The apparatus in the brain, the structure of the energy portal chakra, all that intersect here. This is not the only place you receive information. You receive through your senses, through your body. You feel in your heart. You feel in the pit of your stomach. You sense in the root. You restrict so much there. How you are alive is a miracle. The sacral, all these places communicate, but they're clogged with darkness. They're clogged with fears and pain and blame and stories. They're clogged with the past, and they're clogged with what feels like is missing, or that yearning that you feel for something that feels overwhelming, that you cannot be satisfied. You cannot enjoy what you have until that has made its way here. That is an imbalanced energy filled with sticky darkness. Darkness is your fear. It is your perception of lack or loss, not enough. And then you cannot see with that sense. You cannot perceive with that energy sphere. You cannot receive fully all of the communication and support that is all around you, like this, talking all the time, moving, shifting, try this. What do you think about that? What do you have for this? There's a massive team within you, around you. Time and space do not matter. That person, that thing, this, all those things that you make responsible, that blaming disempowers you. You cannot see clearly. Jaguar Vision is potent, was revered. And here in the Maya land, the Balam understood the power of being able to be one with the elements, the earth, to be able to sense with ease and grace where to go, what to do, merging with the environment, unseen unless desired to be seen. watching, receiving, enjoying. I see through all darkness, and it's time that you remember you can too. I see the darkness of the night. I see through the same within your soul. I see dark energies, low energies, guilt energies, fear energies, anxiety energies, energies of the guilt and the blame and all the things that burden, block, prevent, disconnect. It's time that you heal, you become whole. These are woven together again. All these centers are supposed to talk all the time from your original. Cells is a well of energy that will feed you, rejuvenate you. It is so filled with fear, it cannot release it. Its path through you cannot be awakened. Yet, I am here to tell you, to remind you, to bring you back to who you have been, to all of the experiences you have in your soul. You have more powers, more wisdom, more experience in all these parts of your soul than you could remember, and you don't need to because they're already there. You pretend they're not there, or you fear them, or you live so much without the flow of your own. Ooh, it's a river, and it's just for you, and it's within you. And if it rises within you, it will nourish your inner eye. So it is time that you stop fearing your energy, your power, all this that you have within, and you go in to become the explorer, because it is a jungle. All down through here is a jungle. It is energies that have been overgrown, that are fueled with these dark fears about your behavior, about your respectability, about your responsibility, about everything except for discovering who you are, which is why you are here. I hold you in my belly, and you feel my purr. It calibrates to whatever vibration you most require. It nurtures and soothes and rocks, and the comfort becomes your belly. And you begin to feel that safety, that love within your belly, rocking, my purring, the softness as we curl up. And you receive a full bath of purring. The purring is an incredible vibrational healer. However, it's not what you think, because it alters your frequency and it frees some of these darkness. And as it frees the darkness, you become lighter and you become able to sense and see. Free yourself, and I will guide you. There is no darkness I cannot see through. When you see through my eyes, you don't see your shadows. You see what they're made of. You see where they came from. You see how to complete them, how to nourish them, how to let them be. You walk in the jungle with me. Everything is alive, and yet everything is dead. Everything is in one part of the cycle, and you know it, you see it, you've felt it. Your feet touch the ground, and you feel the energies. speaking through the dirt, the grass, all of the creatures within. You communicate with the crystals and the stones, with the rivers. You communicate with the trees and the roots. Jaguar medicine is more than just your inner eye. Yet when you allow that, you release this energy that is your true essence, the true purpose that you came here for. It frees from your original cells, bathes all of your energy centers, begins to bring the flow of your uniqueness back. I will show you how to see between the worlds, to see through someone's anger, to see through someone's manipulation, to see through the darkness, to see through all forms of shadow. But you see without judgment, my love. You must see without judgment. You are not looking to find the source so that you can blame it. You are not looking to find the wound because you can then know it. You already know your wound. Like everything, they're moving through a cycle. When you keep opening them up, they can't heal. Let them become a scar of wisdom and power. See through all, walk one with the earth, know the medicine of the plants and the animals, know the medicine of the herbs and the nature spirits, the Alush and the Shanas, their fairies and the elves, the tree spirits, the standing people. You walk with Jaguar medicine. You become the mother, embodying the cosmos, firmly grounded and communicating with the earth. Know you have within you all that you need now and forever. You have within you the codes of your divine abilities. Your vision is not anyone else's. In Jaguar Vision, you will be opened to a powerful new ability. And those antennas coming from the inside of the brain will connect to just the ones that you are designed for. Then you live your magic with these powers. And I'm always here to wrap you and give you a sound bath. Wow. All right, so that was lovely. just coming into the sacred space, and Jaguar Spirit came through. I'm looking forward to listening to that again. Okay. So I have some jaguars here that you probably know my moon jaguar. She's so beautiful. I've had her a while. So 6.5 years ago, I came to the Yucatán Peninsula thinking I was staying for 2 months, and I'm still here. So here, this is the first jaguar I ever got at a very important pyramid for me, Koba, where I was had several past lives, and several groups of mine came to retreats that remembered past lives together, and had as Mayan brothers. And so talk about opening your inner vision. So I've been doing this work for about 36 years and growing in different stages through a lot of pain and other things. And the copal keeps burning, burning, burning. So we've really burned away a lot of stuff. And I like the copal with the jaguar medicine, the Jaguar Vision, because they're both very dark energies that can clear the darkness, that can absorb the negativity, that can clear the fear, the shadows, the blocks, that so much fear and anger is out there. So everything on the scale below is a dark energy. It's not bad, but it can be bad for you. Who wants to play with guilt and fear and blame and shame and anxiety and craving and stuckness and enslavement and grief and regret and anger and all of that? It's not a fun place to live. It's not where we can access our powers. It's not where we can see clearly who we're meant to be. So regardless of where you are in your path, the key to this right now is that we've had a long opportunity to start to wake up. And now we're at the top of the pyramid. We're at the temple of the descending God. That is you. That means you've come to unity. You've gone down and you've worked your way back up through the layers of consciousness. And now we're at the top of the Mayan temple. That's why they built them that way. They're 9 waves of consciousness. We're at the 9th wave. Okay? The temple is you. Unity means you are reuniting with you, with yourself. And when you reunite with yourself, what happens? Well, you start to discover who you are, not what everybody else told you you were, or you should be, or you can't be, or anything else. You start to discover things about yourself that are not fitting into the current limited idea of who you are. So the fears and beliefs and conditions and thoughts and mindsets that anything, whether they're from the family, whether they're developed from somebody betraying you, whether they came from another life because something happened and you never want to speak up again because your head was chopped off or you were burned at the stake for being a healer. So now you're full of fear of letting anybody know that you're a healer or that you're waking up or that you're feeling things. These kinds of things have been happening to my clients for 15 years. I call it the burned at the stake syndrome. And that's what we're clearing. So as I clear it and my clients clear it and you clear it and everybody clears it, the more we walk into that pain and that fear, what Jaguar talked about is the dark, sticky energies that are stuck in our chakras, that are stuck keeping, this is what that was talking about. Wow. This is also a jaguar that came on our retreat. I love her mark right here. And so she was in all the ceremonies and carries all these energies. A lot of my dolphins were. Perseus was, of course. Perseus, everybody loves Perseus. So this was talking about your kundalini. Your 8 original cells are at the base of your spine, and it holds your codes for who you're really meant to be. So you've been clearing up a lot of karma, let's call it, for lack of a better word, and don't get confused on karma being bad or karma being something that you're stuck with forever. You're not, okay? And we really are clearing. I want to make sure I'm not burning the house down. And so we have the opportunity now with this accelerated evolution that's happening to full force go into our awakening without holding back anymore, waiting for other people to come to speed with it or to like it, because they're not going to like when you change. In any way, nobody likes when you change. Very few people. I love when you change. If you come to me and say, my life is falling apart, I say, congratulations, you rock. Let's find your path to it, because when you open your own inner vision, your own authority, you develop your intuition, you do these conscious things, you work with these spirit guides and entities actively, you let them support you. That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to be here alone. And we already have the codes in us, just like a nut from a tree knows to grow into that particular tree. You and I and each of us have a unique blueprint that lives in many places, but within your physical body, it lives at the base of your spine. It's called your 8 original cells. It's where you became a fertilized egg, and then you split, and then you split. And this is the beginning of sacred geometry. It's the beginning of the flower of life. The egg of life, the seed of life, the fruit of life, the flower of life. Okay, that's what that is. That's the growth process. Now, we're creators. We were told we weren't. We were told to listen to everybody else's authority, parents and teachers and governments and religions and best friends and whatever. Okay, right? So what we want to do is really become aware. I think we have something else burning now. Mint. Awesome. Is become aware that we need to turn off and unplug from being attached to everything and everyone else and all the opinions that are going on, because everything is only an opinion. All right? Don't go put science as God, because science, the whole point of science is discover the truth. And we just have to look at history to say, we never did know the full truth. And then we discovered this, and then we discovered that, and then we could see the stars. And now we have things out there walking around on Mars, and we can see even better. But we're only looking at the 3D with that stuff. And the reality is it's a multidimensional universe and multiverse. And there's dimensions. And you live in them already. When you're in fear or anger or grief or shame, you're living in a different dimension than when you're feeling peace, contentment, happiness, oneness, revelation. It's why you meditate. It's why you do my activations. It's why you keep doing this, is so that you can reach those higher states of consciousness. Now, what do you want to do when you get there? You want to raise your frequency, and then you want to do something that's going to change things because you can. Because the struggle that most people feel is because you're down in a low state of energy, trying to achieve enlightenment or some feeling pure love or attracting $10,000 tomorrow or something like that. And then you're saying, oh, it's my self-worth, and it's this thing that happened to me and that thing that happened to me. And yes, it's all of those things, but you have to stop waiting to find it, for it to finish being fixed, for any other thought that your wound controls you, because that's how we were raised. We were raised to put our power outside of us. We gave our power away to everything and everyone, and we're not walking around with our own inner blueprint fully activated. So opening your inner eye is a way of saying you're going to be opening your own soul's treasure chest. Because this is way more than just getting visions or feeling or seeing or sensing color, being better at perceiving your clients or your children's or your loved ones or whoever you help in your work, perceive more of where their blocks are or where their issues are or how you can support them. It's more than being able to sit down and ask for guidance and then wait and receive. You don't have to see something like an eye. This is a receiver that perceives light. Light codes come from the sun and a lot of other places. I emit light codes, you emit light codes, all of these things emit light codes. And so if I pick up this rose quartz, which is also activated with the Guide on Heart, which was one of the mystery schools that I went through, is not only rose quartz energy, which is love, it's frequency from Gaia, right? This is mother love. It's also encoded with some sacred things that I've been initiated into. What does that matter? Well, when you attend a mystery school, you're discovering who you are, how things work, what's underneath it, what true alchemy is, how that you can be connected, that you could be receiving from this without even knowing it 24/7. But when we walk around believing what we were told about being limited, not being good enough, that we should do things all with our mind and hard work, then, and that intuition is stupid and that you're silly and whatever else that you've experienced, okay? So that time is over. And it's not, okay, you can come over. Bast was sitting here staring at me and saying she needed to be in my hands. So we have to remember, oh yes, that we're not going to blame anybody when we wake up to the fact that we've been living someone else's life. We have had that agreement. We've gone through to complete things. And now you're at a turning point where you've got to turn around and say, all right, I got to clean my windshield. I have to open this inside. So what's happened for me was yesterday I was going to do this show. And please excuse me for 1 second. Zowie. That's our daily green juice, and Chris made it very, very, very sour and citrusy. I love it, but it's like, ooh. Okay, Bast just wanted to keep seeing you. Bast is an Egyptian goddess who's the one side of Sekhmet, and Sekhmet is the lion, and this is a cat, and she's a healer, pure, divine, feminine healer. So at the activation, at the retreat, sorry, this is what I need to do. We had an experience, which we always do. We have incredible magical experiences. So I hope you'll join us. We have one coming in July. I highly, highly recommend it. We're doing Dolphins 3 times, 3 different days, many different healings, third eye activations, kisses, play, and something magical always happens. We were at a temple, an iguana came into our circle. A whole experience unfolded with that. We communicate with a lot of spirits, a lot of elementals. We communicate with a lot of animals. They come and join us in very unique ways, ones you rarely see. They tone with us, sacred birds. And so this was one of the shocking, still to me, and amazing and wow, just so empowering experiences. So this is a special temple in the jungle that we go to for certain ceremonies. It has eyes and ears and a crown chakra of a star. It has a tree of life. It's beautiful. And our Mayan Aztec ceremony team was here waiting for us. And I'm going to be doing this tomorrow. So check this out. I'm going to start doing this, kind of what happened earlier with the Jaguar. Hi, sweetie. And the Dolphins and other realms, because I'm a realm bridger, and that's what's coming through. I also have third eye openings. When I came back, Spirit asked me to offer these to you, so they'll be available for a few weeks only, and they're on sale, and I highly recommend it because I'm having these constant upgrades. So what I get upgraded with means I can then translate that to you. I can see more and empower you more and give you higher upgrades yourself. And this is where you find out more about the retreats. And I recommend that you start now, especially if you don't have a passport. Start getting your plans together. It's very exciting, very inspiring, and healing. And if you're called, then you need to listen. So I was going to do this yesterday, and right after the retreat, after having this, there were so many upgrades, and my head felt enormous. And then I'm the guide, and I do the activations during the retreat, and yet then I go places. So everything I do is to add to the vibrational intensity of what we're doing, the healing. So we go with the dolphins and we interact with them, and they're scanning us and they're recalibrating us and they're communicating with us, and they're coming. One kept going to this woman's crown when we were doing the floating meditation. And you see afterwards the pictures, how they're going around, they're coming to different parts of you. And you're also in the water. The elementals were there, the wind, everything. So all of these things are always a massive upgrade for me, for everybody there. Every day, new activations, new healings, new releasings were happening. New people were awakening their vision and different things. I did do a Jaguar activation myself. And then the Equinox day, we went to a temple and the iguana came, and then we went to this temple in the picture, and we they were waiting to do this sacred Jaguar ceremony for us. So I knew they were going to do the Jaguar ceremony. I did not know that he was going to bring a Jaguar skull. And so if you're familiar with the indigenous cultures, when animal spirits leave you, their body, you honor them by using the power within them. You might use a wing to blow your sacred smoke, right? If you're doing smudging, cleansing. Yeah, so there's feathers in indigenous costumes. Feathers around the head always represent an open and awakened spirit, an opened awakened eye, connecting to spirit, to higher realms, being able to fly, being able to travel. And so I came, and they had the jaguar dancers outside blowing the conch horns, opening the portal for us. We'd just been in a mermaid cenote. We'd just been communicating with iguanas at a sacred temple and everything. So everything accumulates day after day after day. So if you really want a transformation, I highly recommend you come, because being in a cocoon, the sacred spaces I create, the activations that I channel, the spirit guides, the combination of all these different things is going to take you through a divine transformation, a literal metamorphosis. And so I came up and he said, okay, we're welcome. We were cleansed with the copal. And then he began to share about the jaguar, about the equinox, the music, and they were doing different things. We came together. We were given rose petals. We put our heart intention in them, poured them over each other. It was just this beautiful blend. He wanted us to be a part of the ceremony, not just watching the ceremony. So we were integrated in and out of the ceremony, which was beautiful. And I love working with this team because they've become very good friends, and I tell Christian what we're doing, what our theme is, and what I want. And then he takes that as an inspiration and brings his stories as an Aztec, his stories from a family who all do ceremony. His mother's an incredible curandera and a multidimensional healer. And his father was head of the Indigenous Elders Society. So this is a very powerful lineage, powerful experiences, and authentic person who brings their heart to share only what they know, not to judge or to regurgitate or to do something. So these ceremonies are tailored to us. And he's so intuitive, like I am, willing to shift in the last moment, that he said as he was packing up to come that day, the Jaguar Skull started to speak to him and said, give me to Nan and ask her to channel. I need to channel a meditation or whatever, a message through her. I think he said meditation. So he said, I have a gift for you. And then after a certain part of the ceremony of us coming in and out, he shared this. I could feel the entire inner part of me drop out. My stomach, it was kind of like when somebody, announces that you just won the Oscars or something, or you're the one that's going to, get to do something, but suddenly now you're seen. There's a spotlight on you. And I do this work, and I've done it for a long time. I've come to a place of self-love and belief in myself. My days are filled with magic. I live in both worlds. I walk with the ancient Maya and the elementals. I speak and communicate to them all the time. So this isn't new. However, when you do your work daily, so I activate and cleanse and clear my light body and the space and everything every day, and nonstop. It's my number one priority is my spiritual and energy work, creating the space. When I do this, I give it to the Akasha. It's available to everyone. So I'm doing my healing work and contributing my healing to the universe with every step. So I'm very aware of this. And this was, to be honest, a massive, massive upgrade. This is like when a shaman comes to you and says, you're ready. You graduate, which is a big friggin' deal. And you're going to a new level. The minute we sat in a circle, the minute that the skull entered my hands, this is afterwards, you can probably see my face. It's almost blank. I had no emotion. I was an island of pure peace. Within me and through me, I'm feeling it take over me right now, was white, just pure white light. So everything that I've done to heal my body, my mind, my emotions, my past, my pain, my regrets, my betrayal, my being disowned, my losses, failure, everything that I've done accumulates into the moment. And when you've done your work, magic moments will open for you, because those doors are only there for you, and they're only unlocked when you are ready. So waiting for proof, or waiting to see the money or the way or the this or that or whatever you perceive is stopping you, is not living in this divine flow that you've got to live in. And it has to be coming from your own inner projection of light and love, walking, like the Jaguar said, one with the earth, and realizing within the earth, and from crystals and rocks and stones, and then the elements like air and water and the tree spirits, and just on and on and on, as well as Gaia herself as the primordial mother energy of pure divine love, accelerated healing. Then you're walking in a vehicle, your body, that has a light body, that's filled with layers and layers and layers of codes that could be released for you to be living your own unique vision and bringing incredibly empowering things into the world. Instead, for most people, at least up till now, there's been some, if not a massive amount of fear and pain from life and different things that covers and clogs, like Jaguar said today. It's clogging the flow of your divine energy. So now that I'm thinking about the message we received today with how I felt here in this moment, all these things are connected. A few weeks before the retreat, I went over there to go to all the sacred places, to talk to the land, to ask permission for us to enter, to do the proper, respectful connecting and clearing. This is why people come and have such profound healings and openings and upgrades with me, is because I'm very conscious and aware of all of the conscious energies that exist in every moment, in every place. We don't just go in and tromp around like unconscious tourists. We do and go everywhere in a sacred way, because these are powerful places. These are powerful lands. So I went 2 weeks before. I stayed one night, and that night I walked around. I kept talking to the dolphins. I was heart to heart weaving with the dolphins and the moon. It was quite powerful. And I did that for a few hours. And then I felt drawn to go into a little shop in this beautiful little town where we stay for the retreats. And they had many rooms of different art, jewelry, carvings, things that hang on the wall. I already have many jaguars, and I was drawn to these 2 jaguar heads made out of wood, no painting. One was very light wood and big, and one was smaller and was dark wood. And I bought them immediately without even thinking. I came home, and then I went back for the retreat. Then I showed this picture to my Intuition Awakening students, and they said, I suddenly realized it looked just like the one jaguar head I had bought. So I sent a picture, and one of them said, I can see that you called this jaguar experience in by getting that first wooden skull, because it's a connector or a communicator with it. And I think that's just very true. So there's so much happening in our lives that are connecting us dot to dot, that are gifts. And when we live in fear, when we live consumed with it's not enough, or when will it happen, or why, then we're not in the present moment, and we're not accepting, and we're struggling, and we're creating a lot more fear and drama than need happen. Don't be fooled by someone telling you you're going to make $1 million tomorrow and you can just be positive and then everything will be perfect all the time. And if you're not perfect and happy all the time, then something's wrong with you. That's complete bullshit. We're all here on Earth. We go through winter, we go through fall, we go through hurricanes, we go through sunshine, we go through all the vibrational ups and downs. So I felt that pure white light within. And now Jaguar is telling us that the next step is, yes, you work on that vision to be able to see through your own darkness. This is where you start with Jaguar Vision. So this was the cherry on the top. And when I held it afterwards, I did this during the ceremony as well. When I first held it in my hands, I felt immediately this energy pouring down through my bones, into my wrists, up my arms, very slow, very distinct, full, soft, but solid, kind of a light beige color, and just not very consistent, like turning on the pipes, turning on the faucet full on. The ceremony was going, the music, and I was just holding, and I then felt it go into my heart center. I held it to my eye like this, and a few other things I don't remember, and then I channeled, and I felt a clarity and an opening within me that I've never felt. And I'm very clear compared to before, of course. And I know that I'm always, 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 always expanding, always going to the next level of truth, next level of strength, next level of connection, next level of capacity. Don't think there's a goal and then you're done. Enjoy the fact that you are an infinite being unfolding your powers in infinitum. So at first I felt that sense of responsibility, like, oh my gosh, like you might be like, oh, go on stage in front of 5,000 people, although I would love that. And it would just be like, oh, and then I was like, no, wait, this isn't, will I do a good job? That is so irrelevant in this dimension. Jaguar exists in the 5th dimension and the 8th dimension, and the 5th dimension is non-judgmental. It's not possible to judge, oh, will I be good enough? That's a judgment. So immediately it's like everything relaxed and this flow moved through me of this solid, clear, beige energy. It was moving mostly in my bones and surrounding my heart, like around the outer edges of my heart chakra. And then I just dropped in. There wasn't even a half a second still down there and like, oh no, is this right? Am I doing it right? And sure enough, I just began to speak. I wish I had a recording. I don't remember. I should ask someone if anybody else remembers what I said exactly or what came through me. And you know that you're channeling purely when it's not really your words. It might use your words, but there's a different quality to the energy versus interpreting energies. You can interpret energies, you can do intuitive readings, which is incredibly powerful to be able to do that, to witness and watch, and then you interpret through your own filters, but this is letting something move through you. And as it came through and out, it was empowering, it was strong, it was calling us into our power, it was calling us together. I do remember those aspects to it. It was so profoundly emotional and moving that I was shaking, but I wasn't emotional. And I allowed, this is one of the Jaguar dancers, I allowed it to then move up my neck through my spine into my skull. And when I held it to my third eye to third eye, it went right into my skull. It went right through around a band of my skull. And if you're familiar, skulls are very powerful communication. So if you think about any being that lived and had wisdom from that community, like jaguars all have jaguar wisdom, as well as just the individual wisdom of that particular jaguar. But that jaguar wisdom is this inner vision. It doesn't go away. It is in the bones. And skulls mean communication. Skulls are where the brain is. It's where the connector of the third eye is to the other antennas of the world. So very deep, intense, high-level communication. We are no longer meant to live our lives for others. It's time for us to become a visionary, to become a seer, to become our own inner authority, to let it rise in our bones. I like seeing these pictures because I can tell, I know how I felt, and I can tell the difference in my face. There's a relaxed, this peaceful enlightenedness. I felt so honored and so blessed, and I feel so honored and so blessed. And to receive this confirmation of the work that I've been doing, of the path that I'm on, receive this upgrade and this up level so that my work can be stronger, can reach more people, can move things that are deeper. So I want you to become your own authority. I want you to see through your own uniqueness. I want you to have your own unique vision, because you can see past the illusions and you can see into creation and into the eternal spiral of energy that's constantly moving to you and through you. So I want you to make your life a joyful adventure because you're exploring it. And I want you to explore it not as a victim or a second-class citizen or any of these perceptions. I want you to explore it because you know you're in the right place. You're not being what someone told you to be. You're developing your own inner eye, and that is your number one asset, okay? Number one asset, because it connects you and the world in its density and its fear right now to these higher intuitive psychic skills, okay? So I want you to access all of this. And my feeling is, since this, I didn't have a plan. Let's see if there's any other pictures to share with you. No. So I didn't have a plan of offering you a class, but it feels to me like this is a medicine that we need to share. So watch for that. Come and get a third eye session with me if you feel called, and I highly recommend it because I'm going to be doing them. You can do it later, but if you buy one in the next couple of weeks, because there's a lot of other things happening. We're growing, we're expanding. When I expand my inner vision, and this came to me on the ride home too, I saw synchronicities yesterday or Friday. I had, yes, Saturday, I had to go to town and get a phone. My phone died. And we were sitting at a stoplight outside of town. There's very few people. There was a guy with a motorcycle on the sidewalk here, and he was sitting in a chair facing away from the road. And we were waiting at a stoplight. He got up and he walked over and he looked up and down the road like he was looking for somebody. And he walked back and he sat back down again. And when he turned around, I saw that his shirt said Mayan Brothers. Now, I've never seen anybody's shirt say that. That's not a common company. It was in English. And Chris and I have a life as Mayan brothers at a Koba, had a pyramid here that is so profound that it brings me to tears every time I think about it. So namaste, everyone. Much love, and please reach out. I hope to see you at a retreat. And whatever's coming through, I am going to be doing something very soon. We're going to be sharing some third eye activations. Clearly, it's about the Kundalini as well, because when you awaken your Kundalini, it goes like the Caduceus, the two snakes, up through all the chakras, balanced masculine and feminine, activating your chakras, and then pouring into the third eye, which then opens the crown and the wings. So clearly, that's where we are. I hope you have a beautiful day and you enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me. I'm now going to go be with my Intuition Awakening certification students. Namaste. I'm glad so much resonated, Sherry. Oh, you're wearing cobalt blue. How fun. Oh my God, that guy with that guy with the shirt that said Mayan Brothers was cobalt blue too. Yes, you held a baby jaguar. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Yes, Jaguar is unconditional love. Beautiful. Namaste.